Why is USCIS working on cases from this year and not on cases from last year? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Since the Biden team came into office in January of 2021, they say that they've taken great measures to speed up cases at USCIS. In fact, the opposite is the case. While their measures may have been taken, they have not been effective, and what's been happening is the delays at USCIS are getting longer and longer. You'll see this if you pay attention to the processing times. USCIS's favorite trick is to just keep pushing back processing times instead of actually getting cases moving. So cases that used to have a processing time of 1 year now take 2 years now take 3, and so on. So one of the things that USCIS has done to allegedly try to speed things up is taking a different approach. Now, this will be a very strange approach to understand, but this is something that only the federal government can do. Only an agency as bass-ackwards as USCIS would be willing to do, and that is they understand there's the delay. They see the delay. They know the delay. No one's being fooled about whether or not there is a delay. And in fact, they don't deny there's a delay. But instead of actually putting resources behind fixing the delays, they come up with these publicity stunts and these press releases to try to make it look like things are moving faster. And their greatest trick is working on cases from this year instead of working on cases from last year. Now, I never really understood how dysfunctional USCIS was until they started doing this trick in asylum cases. Now, if you follow asylum cases back in 2015, 2016, 2017, there's an 18-month or a 25-month window there where all the asylum cases that were filed in that window still haven't been adjudicated. They've been pending 5 or 6 years, incredibly. Now, when the Trump team came in, they decided that they were going to try to get asylum seekers out of the United States as fast as possible. And the way that they decided to do that was to start processing cases that just came in the hopes that they could kick people out of the United States a whole lot faster. So this brought in this mindset that we've seen from time to time at USCIS and at the State Department when trying to overcome delays. Instead of going back and fixing the older cases, they say, well, let's at least stop the bleeding. Let's focus on these cases that are just coming in, and then we'll get those resolved as fast as possible, and then we'll go back and work on the older cases at some future date. This maybe seemed to have worked during the Trump team, and they were able to refer a lot more people to the asylum court in the hopes of deporting them. But we've seen this philosophy now bleed over into other case types. Now, I'm certainly happy for our clients who filed a recent case and got a timely turnaround, the timely turnaround that every immigrant who pays a fee associated with a USCIS application should receive. I'm glad. I don't begrudge people who just filed from getting the immigration benefit that they deserve and for receiving timely service. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about is how dumb they are for not going back and also putting resources into the older cases. Now, it is fundamentally unfair to make person A wait for 20 months for a work card and then give it to somebody else in 2 weeks. It's just not fair. And when it comes to the employment authorization documents and travel documents, these are perfunctory measures that USCIS are supposed to handle. There's no big insight or research that needs to be done in order to give someone travel permission or a work card. Now, the Trump team had put in a bunch of restrictions to try to make work cards harder and slower, and that was by design because they wanted to make life harder for immigrants. But the Biden administration has done very little to speed up that process. And in fact, we're seeing right now work cards coming a whole lot faster for people that just filed than people who filed 7, 8, 10 months ago. It's absolutely ridiculous that this agency can't figure out how to issue work cards and travel documents a whole lot faster. Now, of course, that's not even talking about underlying cases like citizenship or green cards. At the end of the day, this agency is not doing things well. It's not run well. The people who are running it don't make good decisions. And like I said, they're a whole lot more about flash and, hey, look over here, instead of actually fixing the problem. So don't believe the hype. Don't find yourself stuck in these kinds of cases. If your case is stuck, there's really only one resolution. Now, you might try calling the CIS ombudsman. You might try contacting a member of Congress. You might try calling the 1-800 number, or even if you're lucky enough to make an info pass to go down to USCIS. But none of those things work. The only thing that's going to work when you have a delay as significant as USCIS has put in place on these work cards, advanced parole, citizenship, and green cards is to sue them. It's the only thing that works. So the point of this video is not to talk about lawsuits. We have plenty of other videos about that. But just know that at the end of the day, these guys are working on cases that were filed a whole lot sooner than yours. And what we've seen time and time again is that they never really go back anytime soon and work on the older cases. That's the real problem. The real problem is that they never really go back and clean out the older cases, which is what's led to these historic backlogs, these historic delays. And we're really frustrated. We share your frustration. We understand, and we will do everything we can to help you. And I believe, after having filed hundreds and hundreds of these lawsuits, that it's really your only option to get the immigration benefit that you so desperately need. Hope this makes sense. If you have questions about it, or if you want to hire us to try to speed up your case by filing a mandamus lawsuit against USCIS, give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can also hire us or start the conversation about hiring us by emailing us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Don't forget, we have a lot of free resources. One of those is our Immigrant Home Facebook group. We'd love to have you join us in our Immigrant Home Facebook group. We have people talking about the immigration process and the questions that they have in that Facebook group for free every single day. We also have our YouTube channel with hundreds and hundreds of videos on all different kinds of topics. If you want to subscribe to that channel, you'll get updated whenever we make a new video like this one. And then finally, don't forget that a couple times a week, 3 or 4, we go live in our Facebook group and on the YouTube channel answering as many of your immigration law related questions as we can in just under 60 minutes. Thanks a lot and have a great day.